Satispay feels free. You tap, you pay, you split a dinner. Nobody asks for your card. Nobody asks for a fee. So, how does Satispay make money? Here's the twist. Most of the time, you are not the customer. You're the traffic. And Satispay is building the toll road. In the next minutes, I'll break down the story of Satispay, the business model, where the revenue really comes from, what they're likely to expand into next, and I'll close with why this matters for us and what we can learn. Satispay is founded in Italy in 2013, and the service launches in 2015. The original pain is simple. Italy loves cash, especially for small stuff. Coffee, pizza slices, taxi rides, the I'll pay you back later moments. Cards worked, but for years they felt like overkill for micropayments. And merchants didn't always love the costs, the hardware, or the friction. So Satispay goes with a different idea. Don't start from a credit card. Start from the bank account. Onboarding is built around your IBAN, and the app asks you to set a budget that can top up weekly or monthly. That budget logic is key. It makes spending feel controlled, and it makes the system predictable. Then, Satispay does the classic two-sided network move. Get consumers to adopt it because it's simple and fast. Get merchants to accept it because it's cheaper and easier. And once both sides exist, the network becomes the moat. Today, Satispay's own website says 6 million people have chosen the app, and it's used across 400,000 plus shops. A trade publication reported in September 2025 5.5 plus million active users and 450,000 merchants. Either way, this is not a cute app. This is infrastructure. Think of Satispay like a city building roads. People use the road for free. Businesses pay because the road brings customers to their door. That's the foundation. B2B monetization built on top of B2C habit. And you can see it in the kind of customer Satispay has. Big everyday brands, not just tech nerds. In official communications, Satispay lists merchants like Esselunga, Benetton, Carrefour, Trenord, Italy, Tigota, Decathlon, Autogrill, Trenitalia, and others. It's also integrated for payments with services like Netflix in Italy. Satispay partners with platforms like Stripe and WorldPay to make acceptance easier online. So yes, active customers here means both. Millions of people paying and hundreds of thousands of businesses accepting. Now let's talk money. Merchant commissions, the core. This is the main one. In early years, Satispay's merchant pricing was famous because it was ultra-friendly for small payments. For example, in 2024, Satispay described a model with no monthly fees and a dairy cent fee only for payments above 10 euros. Then comes the "we're not a startup anymore" moment. From 7 April 2025, Satispay introduced a single 1% commission for all in-store transactions at physical shops. Satispay. And importantly, Satispay states that for private users, nothing changes. Payments and P2P transfers remain free. Satispay translation. Users stay frictionless. Merchants fund the system. Why does that matter? Because payments is a scale gain. A tiny fee on a huge volume becomes a business. E-commerce fees, also clear and structured. Online has its own pricing. On Satispay's e-commerce page, it lists 1.5% for transactions under 10 euros, 1.5% plus 20 euros for transactions 10 euros or more, and no subscription cost and free deposits. This is classic payment economics. Reduce friction, boost conversion, take a small slice. They even claim a 98% conversion rate in their e-commerce flow messaging. Whether that's average across all merchants or in best cases, the point is the same. They sell less drop-off as a value proposition. Subscriptions. Satispay Plus. This is the power user layer. Satispay Plus is listed at $3.99 per month and bundles perks like instant top-ups and fee advantages in specific scenarios. This is smart monetization because it doesn't break the core promise. The base app feels free, but the heavy user can upgrade for convenience. Investing, turning trust into a new revenue lane. Payments apps eventually try to become money apps. Satispay is doing that too. On its investing page, Satispay states that its own commissions are 0% until 31st December 2025. And then, from 1 January 2026, Satispay commissions become 0.24%. Read that strategy slowly. Step 1. Launch investing with a no extra fee feeling. Step 2. Once the habit exists, take a small, recurring cut. That's not evil. That's the playbook of financial platforms. Welfare, meal vouchers, and corporate benefits. This is the sleeper hit. Satispay's 2024 funding update says that meal vouchers and fringe benefits reached 12,000 plus companies and 50,000 users in about a year. Satispay. And in a 2024 press release, Satispay announced Iran as the first multi-utility to adopt its meal voucher model, targeted at thousands of employees. Why is welfare so important? Because it's not one coffee at a time. It's recurring, company-driven adoption. And it ties spending to a closed loop of merchants and categories. Here's the loop Satispay is building. Payments equals daily habit. Daily habit equals distribution. Distribution equals trust. Trust equals permission to launch new services. New services equals more reasons to open the app. More opens equals more payments, and the loop tightens. They even launched loyalty mechanics at scale. In April 2025, Satispay described the launch of Punti Satispay, framing it as one of the largest loyalty programs in Italy, available to 5.3 million users and 400,000 merchants. That's not a feature. That's retention engineering. Expansion can happen in 3 directions: geography, products, and rails. More services inside the same daily money habit. In November 2025, a major move is BNPL in physical stores, Pay in 3. It's described as paying in 3 interest-free installments, and the rollout targets the existing merchant base. The same article mentions examples of participating brands like IKEA Italia, Prenatal, Game Life, Tigros, Grimaldi Lines, and more. Even if the user pays without interest, the strategic value is obvious. Higher ticket sizes, more frequent use, more engagement, more stickiness. Deeper B2B, welfare plus e-commerce integrations. Partnerships with Stripe and WorldPay matter because they turn Satispay into a checkbox inside other ecosystems. That's how payment methods scale, not one merchant at a time, platform by platform. Satispay positions itself as a European network, and its regulatory structure includes a Luxembourg entity for payment services mentioned in its newsroom footer. That's relevant because Europe rewards models that can replicate across markets once compliance and infrastructure are in place. And on the funding side, Satispay's own update in November 2024 describes a €60 million capital increase and says total fundraising is over €500 million. You don't raise that to stay a nice Italian app. You raise that to build a wider network. So why should we care? Because Satispay is a real-world blueprint for building a modern business. Lesson 1. Free is a strategy, not a lack of a business model. If the user experience must be frictionless, monetize the side that can pay, businesses. Satispay kept the consumer side free and built a merchant-funded engine. Lesson 2. Start with a wedge, then expand. They started with small everyday payments. Then they added e-commerce, loyalty, welfare, investing, and now BNPL-like behavior in-store. Lesson 3. Networks beat features. An app can be copied. A network of millions of people and hundreds of thousands of merchants is harder to copy. Lesson 4. Pricing changes are part of maturity. Moving to a clearer merchant commission model is what happens when a product stops being an experiment and becomes infrastructure. So the next time you open Satispay, don't just see a payment app. See a company building rails, then stacking services on top of those rails. And here's the question I want to leave you with. If you had a daily habit in the pocket of millions of people, what would you build next?